Hello everyone, I'm Mike Feltenberger, and today's High Banks happenings will be the recap of the May 24th events down at the Grandview Speedway, which was actually the resumption of the remaining events for the May 17th night of racing down at Grandview. First up was the remaining two heats for the modifieds, and taking the first heat win, which actually would be heat number 3, was Bobby Gunther Walsh in the 65, with Justin Grimm in the 61 getting your fourth or for the night second heat win for the modifieds. That would lead to 4 consolation events, 2 for the sportsmen, 2 for the modifieds, and your first consi winner was Mike Stofflet in the 38, and winning the second sportsman consi was Nathan Moore in the 17M. Your 2 modified consolation winners. Your first consolation was won by the 19 of Jared Umbenhauer, with Ryan Watt in the 14W getting the second consolation win. Vintage cars were there last night. Strong field of vintage cars. They actually combined the modified and the sportsman for a 20-lap main event. Taking the win in the 97 was Gage Phillips. Second was Ron Myers in the 125, with Scott Schaefer in the 77S getting third. Your fourth place finisher, Sven Olsen, was actually your sportsman winner. So the 97 of Gage Phillips and the 157 of Sven Olsen shared victory lane. Both Dave Dissinger cars, as Dave was driving one of the Nyman cars. He was in the 17 last night. So the 20-lap vintage car feature was won by Gage Phillips and in the modified class, and Sven Olsen in the sportsman class. 30-lap modified main. Chris Gambler and Bobby Gunther Walsh, your front row starters, bringing the field to the green. Chris Gambler getting a good jump, taking the lead in the 121, was leading for the first 5 laps, and all of a sudden there was a 6-car tangle over in turn number 3, bringing out the yellow, actually the red, Chris Esposito getting over in the 49. But once the accident scene was cleared, racing resumed with Chris Gambler jumping to the lead on the restart. All of a sudden, turn 4, yellow out. Your leader, Chris Gambler, sitting in turn number 4 in the 121, bringing out the yellow. Bobby Gunther Walsh inherited the lead, and he led for 1 lap as Jeff Strunk in the Norm Hansel 357 got by and was not to be denied his win for the evening down at Grandview. I believe that might be Jeff's first win in 2 years down in the High Banks, but it's great to see Jeff Strunk back in victory lane again. Strong run by Logan Watt coming from the mid-pack to get the second spot. He challenged Jeff a couple times, got to Jeff, but didn't have enough to get by. Strong second place run for Logan Watt in the 4M. Finishing third was your hard charger of the night, coming from the 24th starting spot to get third at the checker, the 15G of Dwayne Howard. Good showing for Dwayne, with Mike Guler in the 53 getting fourth. Mike was actually challenging Logan for the second spot, but lost some handling later in the event, losing that third spot to Dwayne Howard, but getting fourth at the checker. Good run for Mike Guler in the 53. And your consolation winner, Jared Umbenhauer, moving through the field, was on rails on the bottom and then decided to move the top, passing a couple cars late in the event to get the 5th spot. So top 5 was Jeff Strunk, Logan Watt, Dwayne Howard, Mike Guler, and Jared Umbenhauer. That moves over to the 25-lap sportsman main event. And Caitlin Bailey in the 10K, looking strong throughout the event, was your race leader after our first lap pileup right under the starter stand. 15 cars involved in this accident scene in front of the starter stand for the sportsman modifieds. Severe damage to the 53 of Joey Vaccaro. Joey actually getting over in the yellow submarine. I believe he drove over the top of the 611 of Brett Grimm. And Addison Meitzler and Tom Miller Jr. had some severe damage as well. So hopefully they'll have their cars repaired and ready to come back to action for the May 31st events at the Grandview Speedway. But once the green came back out again, it was Caitlin Bailey on a mission in the 10K, finding some speed on the top and the bottom of the raceway, but moving through the field was the 973 Jesse Landis. Jesse really had that 973 working on the high side, getting around a couple cars and finally getting by Caitlin on lap number 11 of the 25-lap main event. So a strong run for Jesse Landis, your winner. Caitlin Bailey staying strong for second. Getting third, shaking off some early season bad luck, Zach Steffi in the 47Z with Ebby Ridge in the 35X. Just focusing on a nice finish, staying steady and strong, putting the 35X into the 4th spot under the checker, and shaking off some early season bad luck as well was 11 of Parker Goulden to get the 5th spot after the 25 laps was completed. So your top 5 in the sportsman class was Jesse Landis, Caitlin Bailey, Zach Steffi, Ebby Ridge, and Parker Goulden. Congratulations to your top 5 finishers. Fantastic night of racing down at Grandview. Racing will resume on May the 31st with the modifieds, the sportsman, and the Pro 4 Series. The Pro 4 Series came in last year, had a great field of cars, put on some fantastic racing. So they will be your added class for May the 31st. I'd like to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. Thank you, veterans present and past, for your service. We acknowledge you and we thank you for your service to our country. So hope to see everyone at the Speedway. Again, I'm Mike Feltenberger, and see you at the Raceway May the 31st down at Grandview. The High Bank happenings will be now concluded. Everyone, please have a great day. Thank you.